Good morning, everybody. Happy day 212 of the year. How are you feeling this morning? Hopefully you woke up well rested after a lovely night of yin sleep and you are starting the cycle of a new day and a new morning. As I said, we're on day 212 of the year, and according to 365 Tao by Deng Ming Tao, our word on day 212 is form. So grab your books, grab your journal and something to write with. Find that nice, quiet and comfy place where we can read together for the next 15 minutes where you won't be disturbed. You can commit this little 15 minutes, 1% of your day to reading together, contemplating some Taoist philosophy, writing in your journal, starting your day with intention. If you can be outside like I am, I always encourage you to start your day in the natural world, checking in with the environment around you, connecting to nature, connecting to your breath, and just having a nice yin and slow start to your day. So let's start reading together on day 212 on the subject of form. At first, form is needed. Then doubt and inhibition must be dispelled. Eventually, form is celebrated with joy, and expression becomes formless. In all fields of endeavour, including spirituality, one must start out with certain structures, procedures, and forms. Even though one admires the seemingly effortless virtuosity of the masters, it will take some time before one can reach that level. So take a moment to think about when you started something new. Perhaps you've started a new hobby, you're doing a new course, you're teaching yourself something new. Think about being a beginner at something and then looking at someone who's a little further along in their path, someone who's even a master of what they're doing, right? It took them a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of practice, and a lot of skill to get where they are. You're just starting out. They are a lot further along in their journey, so you cannot compare yourself to somebody who's been doing something for significantly longer than you have. Take dance, for example. The novice student must drill constantly on the basics, isolating each step and movement with meticulous attention. Although the emphasis on structure may add to the beginner's inhibition, it must be done. Eventually, the dancer will learn to let go. The steps will have become a natural part of movement. Then dance can be celebrated joyously. Our now mature dancer may even dance in a way that seems so spontaneous, so magical, that it will seem formless. Or, more precisely, the form will emerge with fluidity, grace, originality, and beauty. Wow, that's a beautiful passage for any creative practice. Here it was used as dance. But if you have a creative practice yourself, think about if you're drawing or you're painting or you're writing, this process happens. There's a point in time where you go from like being a beginner and concentrating on the basics and the steps where you just flow into being able to do something. If you can remember when you were a child and you learned how to ride a bicycle, that's a good example of this as well. You were probably trying really hard and you were falling and you weren't quite sure, and then just something happened and you got it and you could ride the bicycle. And now that it's there, you're never not going to know how to do it. That's why a lot of people say, it's like riding a bicycle. Once you know how to do it, it's always ingrained in your memory. And this is like learning anything new. It's going to take you a little while to get to that point, but once you're there, it will become a fluid, natural motion, and you probably will not forget how to do it moving forward. The same is true of spirituality. At first, all the restrictions and practices seem quite constricting. Eventually, you will reach a stage where meditation flows quite spontaneously. Every day is new, fresh, and full of wonderful insights. The beauty of the world then shows itself as it is. Doubts fade away, and the banality of ordinary life is replaced by the awe and grandeur of the soul. This is true formlessness. What a beautiful passage to think about, the process or the practice of any habit that we have, whether it's a hobby, whether it's our career, whether it's anything that we're doing routinely, but that we're practicing, even what we're doing here every single day. We're doing something continuously, we've committed to the practice, we're showing up, we're putting in our reps, we're doing our 15 minutes every day, our little 1%, and over time that compounds. It compounds and we get better, we improve, and then eventually it just becomes part of who we are. It becomes so natural that we're never going to forget. It's like riding the bicycle. I love this last passage here. Every day is new, fresh, and full of wonderful insights. That's a beautiful way to think about the start of a new day, the start of a new cycle, the start of a new chapter. Every single morning that we're meeting here together, yes, we're using the same book, we're doing the same practice, but it's always going to be new, fresh, and full of wonderful insights. So I wish you a beautiful, beautiful day on day 212 of the year. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your practice. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And hopefully you're seeing the improvements of committing to this little 15 minutes, 1% of your day every day. And I will check in with you tomorrow.